Meghan Markle has had her fair share of backlash lately, and many believe it's for a good reason. The former working member of the royal family has been under great scrutiny lately for her behavior toward the monarch and her newfound role marrying Prince Harry. So what exactly did Meghan do to be considered such a narcissist, as various people are calling her? And why does she still have fans and supporters amidst all of the drama anyway? Early in their romance, Prince Harry took to the media to release an official statement, asking the news outlets to go easy on his then-girlfriend. It was a lengthy statement in which he describes his disappointment that he could not protect his then-girlfriend from the media bombardment interested in their lives. The manner in which he addressed the media was considered unprecedented at the time, and it was reported that the royal family was not the most supportive of Harry's feelings toward the situation and his communications with the press. And so the storm began to brew. Harry and Meghan were married in May 2018 in a fairy tale wedding that captivated the world. The ceremony marked the start of their official life as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. But little did everyone know how quickly that would come crashing down. In an interview with Oprah, Meghan remarked that although she and Harry tried to treat their wedding day as if it were their own, they were both really aware, even in advance, that this wasn't our day. This was the day that was planned for the world. Meghan knew from the beginning exactly what it was she was getting into, thus the argument made by many people around the world regarding the ridiculousness of her attitude and apparent lack of understanding toward the crown. Especially as an American, one has to believe that she knew precisely how much sacrifice her new life would involve. After all, this was no small matter. So when did her opposition toward royal life begin? Well, in many people's eyes, almost immediately. Reports from friends say that Meghan always had a thing for the royals, especially Harry's mother, Princess Diana. A former friend of Meghan said that she had one of Princess Diana's books on her bookshelf and was very taken with the idea of becoming a royal. Reports said that Meghan always wanted to be Diana 2.0. This dramatically contrasts Meghan's statements about not knowing much about Harry before meeting him. In her interview with Oprah, Meghan said she had never Googled Harry before marrying him. How can one believe that this is the truth? If it is, she has quite a bit of self-restraint. There is so much irony in Meghan's apparent sudden desire to distance herself from the crown and the royal family. Not to mention the irony being dissected regarding her desire for privacy and her actions which oppose privacy. Interviews with Oprah, Netflix documentaries, supporting her husband's tell-all book Spare. What on earth is even going on? It is hard to not shake your head when you think about it. Are they just trying to make money? Gain fans? Hurt their family? Or all of the above while making money? This brings us to our next and most important question. If Meghan is considered to be such a narcissist, how and why does she continue to be popular at all? Who are her fans and supporters? Let's start with the word narcissist and get this out of the way. What is the true definition behind it? A narcissist is a person who has an excessive interest in or admiration of themselves. Simply put, a person has to have everything revolve around them. Without those events, they seem to do things unethically to favor their narratives or become destructive to get their point across. Meghan's actions speak louder than the word. A narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition, such as having OCD for many. It usually cannot be changed in comparison to a behavior, where a behavior can be changed over time. You can learn to remap your thinking pattern. It usually starts at a young age and continues throughout their lifetime. Most skepticism can be debunked by looking at her pattern throughout life and her position currently. As a successful social climber, most of her actions seem innocent to those supporting her. But from a different perspective, her efforts have always been manipulative and calculating. She will not stop. Think of them as just pawns in a chess game. If you haven't seen our video about her social climbing, please watch our recent video. The link will be in the description below. People who are narcissists are constantly bending the truth, but in this case, she seems to contradict herself by not entirely telling the truth, or telling the truth and later correcting her previous statements. One example is how they met. There are two versions, one from a blind date, and later it was updated to be from Harry's Instagram browsing with a mutual friend helping them get in touch. Or is it that they didn't officially meet and are saying that the real date was the official meeting of each other in person? Who knows? Narcissists don't care about other people's feelings, nor do they have any genuine feelings of their own. Empathy is not their vocabulary of choice. Manipulation is. Fooling others is the only power they have. People are discarded easily. By gaining and accomplishing what they are after, they will usually throw people away as they are not needed. People are generally stepping stones from their point of view. Everything about making herself seem like the victim is ordinary for a narcissist. But the worst type of narcissist is those who take complete control over someone to use as their puppet. Yes, Harry. We're not saying Harry is innocent himself. We get it. He does not look like any other royal family member with his incredible ginger-colored hair, but with his issues growing up and having Meghan Markle as the catalyst, an abuser like Meghan can ultimately damage someone's self-confidence to the point that they are driven by guilt, making them into a ticking time bomb. Gaslighting creates toxicity to others. And all of this is very predictable. We can go on and get into more grittiness on why Meghan Markle is terrible and why she is after the money, but it's obvious. It's always been about money. But we'll save that for another video. Please consider subscribing to Moderate Narratives. So please bear with me, and let's move on. But first, according to Global News, Meghan Markle is the second least liked royal in Great Britain, trailing behind Prince Andrew for obvious reasons. Behind Andrew come Meghan and Harry, who are no longer nearly as beloved as they once were in Great Britain. Their hypocritical actions with the media and their willingness to trash their family's secrets for money deliberately does not sit right with many. Their popularity ratings began to slump before the launch of their Netflix series. A few years ago, however, Prince Harry and Meghan were right behind William and Kate in their ratings. But we all know what happened. Meghan had a great deal of support from Americans early on. Her story was the fairy tale that every girl wanted. Still, in later years, Harry and Meghan's constant attacks on their family, the beloved royal family, left people bitter. It all started with their tell-all interview on The Oprah Winfrey Show, during which they made several damaging accusations against the royal family, spiraling from there. According to British royal expert Niall Gardner, there is a huge difference in the grace of William and Kate compared to the deeply unpleasant vanity of Meghan and Harry. We couldn't have said it better ourselves. It's undeniable that William and Kate stepped into their life's roles with a tremendous amount of poise and sophistication. Sure, they have had their moments with the media. Still, they do an exceptional job of leaving personal matters behind closed doors and respecting the relationship that royals are expected to have with the media. But beyond the press, William and Kate have insurmountable respect for the monarch and every existing royal family member. That's what it comes down to. And sadly, it appears that Meghan and Harry do not. Has William come forward and shared embarrassing or less than fortunate details about his younger brother? Never. Has Kate come forward and tried to clarify fights she may or may not have had with Meghan? Never. Has King Charles III come forward to set the record straight about doing headstands in his underwear, as Harry has detailed in his book? Nope. People have addressed the notion that Meghan is treated differently because she is biracial, but many people argue that it is not race, but rather Meghan's attitude that is the problem. And as a response to her attitude and lack of appreciation for the tremendous royal lineage, her unpopularity has soared. But yes, Meghan still has fans and supporters worldwide. There are quite a bit of prominent celebrities who support Meghan and Harry as well. Tyler Perry, Alec Baldwin, Oprah, Maria Shriver, Serena Williams, and Beyoncé, to name a few. And her fans and supporters have a much different viewpoint. But why? For one, they love that she is a philanthropist and a humanitarian. Meghan has worked with many organizations across Asia and Africa to better people's lives worldwide. That certainly does not go unnoticed by anyone, and her fans consistently remind people of that. Another winning trait of Meghan that wins her supporters over is that she is always faithful to herself. She is who she is, and she makes no apologies about it. Love or hate is an admirable way to live your life, with your happiness as a top priority. Aside from what other people may or may not demand of you, her confidence and desire to live a life that is authentic to her values have kept her fans happy. And the most significant thing that draws Americans to the power couple is that they chose America. The Duke and Duchess fled Britain and headed to Vancouver before settling in Los Angeles. As a New York Times article notes, it's better to be a celebrity in the United States then fifth in line for the throne in Britain. Meghan also elaborated that they made it such an issue when I went to the UK. They are speaking about her biracial heritage. Americans are more accepting when it comes to varying races. That is how Harry and Meghan have made it seem anyway. The couple does not shy away from speaking out against racism and colonialism, and that is something that everyone can get behind. They have become a symbol of unity and progress, and people in biracial relationships everywhere appreciate their efforts. And for the rest of the fans of Meghan Markle, the rest seem to be people who don't like the royal family or have any support for the monarchy. As the royal family has had many shares of drama over the years, most people are beginning to think that being in a royal family is all BS, and it upsets or gives validation that the royals hold high standards but are not addressing the real issues, like Prince Andrew, a person who is far worse and demonic than Meghan and Harry. Please watch our video on this devilishly handsome Andrew to uncover the dark truth the royal family has been hiding. So while there are many good things about the Duke and Duchess and what they stand for, the naysayers still take the cake here. People believe that Meghan has exhibited a tremendous amount of hypocrisy throughout the last few years. That goes for Harry as well, of course. She appears to be incredibly narcissistic, whether it is intentional or not, and she has done an excellent job dragging Harry into it. In the past, Harry was a very beloved member of the royal family, and he and his brother long had a strong relationship. Of course, it is well known that Harry has negative feelings toward the press regarding their treatment of his late mother, Princess Diana, and their role in her tragic death. That is a burden that no one can judge, and it does appear that the prince is still working through this pain. Nonetheless, it pains people to see Prince Harry swept up in a relationship that has essentially taken almost everything he once knew from him. Whether what he knew was perfect or not, it was still a part of him for a very long time. Meghan's supporters would argue, however, that the relationship has not stolen anything from Harry, but to the contrary, gives more than he has ever really had. The truth, of course, lies inside the Duke and Duchess's walls, and it always will.